Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Jem and the Holograms? Yes, hello. Can we talk about podcast here? Can we talking in a bit of a different fashion this week? Kristen, you and I are in the same room.
Yeah, I don't like it.
This is the first time as such that it's happened because before we had the headsets, which wasn't going to work very well.
Yeah, we've recorded in the same residence
Living
before,
space.
but in different rooms, which is stupid.
Considering we would still have to use the internet for that and everything. It's much better to just talk in a room.
Gosh, one audio track and everything. I hope we don't fuck up too much.
That's on my shit anyway, so whatever.
Yep.
Anyway, I just always got to kind of make sure that I'm talking sort of at the microphone rather than, even though I am talking at you, it doesn't matter. It's a good microphone. So even if I'm talking at you, the microphone's probably going to pick it up normally.
It's circle-shaped.
It's Oh, because it has a microphone port on every little part of the circle then, too.
Mm-hmm.
A globe.
I'm doing
You're making like a globe motion.
Yeah, I'm making like a globe motion with my hands. Our pantomime is going to get even worse now that we can actually see each other.
Yeah, anyway, as we try to do that, I'll just remind you that we are a podcast here. We are diving into the realm of sound and vision, a neon nightmare and pastel phantasm, all in one, taking the form of a show about a pink lady, not named Rizzo, Kristen. It is, of course, 80s cartoon.
What?
Air quotes, classic, Jem and the Hologram.
You lost it.
I am an actor hired to portray Joe. My name is Joe.
I don't know who I am. I'm Kristen.
In classic fashion with the episode. Wonderful. And we are experiencing Jem and the Holograms via...
I'm crying already.
Jem and the Holograms, truly outrageous, complete series, box set box. Kristen, I think we also do this another way, too. Is there a internet streaming service where you can also watch Jem and the Holograms that rhymes with Netflix?
You got me.
You can find Jem and the Holograms on Netflix, of course. And
I haven't watched anything new that I have to talk about this week. I finished Black Mirror, and that's it. Don't watch the last 2 episodes of Season 3. Just stop after San Junipero.
Is it dumb?
The last 2 episodes are bad.
Oh, well.
They're not nearly as good as the third last episode. That's the problem.
Okay.
It kind of turns into a wet fart.
Oh.
I use that term too much.
Kind of like this episode.
Yeah, the third act, you just kind of go, oh, jeez.
Oh, there's still stuff we got to do here,
I
guess.
Wrap it up.
We can't just play another song over the credits again, I guess. Oh, whatever. But anyway, Kristen, this week is an episode that we have discussed previously, or at least made mention to.
About loving.
About loving in the context of the podcast. It is, of course, The Fan, which it needs to be seen to be believed. I do believe. So, if you got Netflix...
Holy shit, if you're gonna watch any single episode of Jem, I think this is a really good place to just dive in.
I mean,
see what the nonsense is about.
Is this too, not meta of an episode, but, too self-involved of an episode? Like, if you watched this episode of Jem, would you be confused? Because Jem isn't Jerrica in the episode at all. So if you don't know that...
If you listen to the podcast and you don't really watch Jem, I feel like this is a great episode to watch.
That's okay.
I will qualify that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess, let's not waste any more time here. It's time to get theme song in because we gotta, it's The Fan, Kristen. We gotta do this. Oh, God.
Jem is excitement. Ooh, Jem is adventure. Ooh, glamour and glitter, fashion and fame. Jem is truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, Jem, the music's contagious. Outrageous. Jem is my name. No one else is the same. Jem is my name. But we're the Misfits. Our songs are bitter. We are the Misfits. So Misfits. And we're gonna get her. Jem, the music's contagious. Outrageous. Jem is my name. No one else is the same. Jem is my name.
We start off, Kristen, this episode is written by Beth Bornstein, which says a lot considering she previously wrote Adventure in China, so this is an improvement, marked improvement, I'd say.
Her sins are being forgiven.
And, so good on you there, Beth. We start outside the Gabor Mansion, where Megan Mischief is being played in the background.
The Misfits are literally listening to their own song.
Much like myself, where you had the experience of when I picked you up at the bus after coming in, I was listening to the podcast.
Yep, it was very weird. We turned it off. The Misfits, they got upset when Pizzazz turns it off.
Yes. As soon as Pizzazz reads something very interesting in the newspaper, she's just like, I don't believe this! And she turns it off, and the Misfits all kind of go like, aww, like, oh, come on. I was listening to that song where I'm only playing an instrument, where Pizzazz would probably be the only person who's getting anything out of listening to a Misfits song.
You would think.
Pizzazz says she found a great ad in the paper. It starts with the guy saying, I am a fan of Jem and the Holograms, and Kristen, Roxy is just immediate, Roxy needs to get in there with a burn, just needs to be like, no, not accounting for taste. Aha, boom! I got it!
You're Your taste is bad.
This fan is willing to offer an enormous financial reward to anyone who can supply him with the identity of one Jem and the hologram.
Miss Jem and the hologram. Please, and the hologram is my father. Call me Jem.
Signed, an extremely desperate fan.
That's a weird thing, but it doesn't come up again, so I'll allow it.
The rest of the Misfits are all kind of like, ugh. When Pizzazz, as they should be, because it's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
But Pizzazz is just like, no, you don't get it. And then they just kind of look at each other, and it's just like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
I do get it. Explain it to me.
Pizzazz thinks this guy is the key to destroying Jem's career, so they head off to meet him. Pizzazz expresses excitement here, wanting to meet a millionaire, which I think Kristen, because she's probably a billionaire, she's just like, isn't that cute? Somebody only has millions of dollars.
I want to see how common people live.
So we fade to this guy's house, which is, Kristen, styled very similarly to the YOU'RE Mansion, to the point where I had to, go back to the beginning of the episode, because it's, the same shot.
Oh, yeah, they really do look similar.
From the same angle. It has a red roof compared to a blue roof with the YOU'RE Mansion, and, the gate is different. I mean, it's a different mansion, but it's I had to be did they use the same shot? What the fuck?
He's probably just squatting in one of Pizzaz's other mansions. That cute little millionaire.
The doorbell, when they approach, is truly outrageous, Kristen, to which, of course, the Misfits react negatively to it. I think Roxy even saying, again, getting her burn and going, what a lousy song! Boom! I did it again!
Yeah! Woo! To Roxy, Jem, nothing.
Does 2 come after 1?
Do you think she can count? Oh no.
I'm not I shouldn't attribute that level of not smarts to Roxy.
Roxy is a perfectly...
She's got street smarts, Kristen.
Yes, exactly. She's fine. She's perfect the way she is.
A butler opens the door, who we never see for the rest of the episode. He's just like, oh, you must be Mr. Prescott's people about Jem identity.
The ad. Do come in.
You said that it sounded like, oh, right, the ad.
The ad. He only, has to look at them to let them in, too. Do you think on the phone Pizzazz is like, yeah, we look like people who are called the Misfits. You open the door and he was like, oh yes, I see the resemblance.
Oh yes, a screaming woman with blonde hair and a little meek blue-haired woman and 2 people who are always fighting each other. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You
Come
are
in.
Misfits indeed. Come in.
And we just gave the butler so many more lines than he actually has.
He is a character now, he should be grateful.
They walk in, Prescott A. Wentworth III, whose name is not said yet because he hasn't been introduced yet. He has wall-to-wall Jem, I believe is how Stormer puts it. He's got Jem all over the walls, quite literally. Just pictures all over, and I believe in one of the pictures, Kimber has Jem-colored hair. So again, here we are with that again.
Great. Everyone's paying attention. He's like, oh, it's a shiny Kimber. But it reminds me of the episode of Powerpuff Girls where there's that guy who loves the Powerpuff Girls.
You know what? It's weird because I want to talk about Prescott A. Wentworth shows himself at this point. He is quite excited to see the Misfits. He's acting sort of like, hello, the Misfits, welcome. Like very eccentric millionaire type of very...
Amadeus.
Very Amadeus, sure.
I mean, when someone has a shitload of money and they choose to spend it all on a single thing, that isn't normal, right? You're supposed to kind of view that with some, don't you have other things you could be doing?
I mean, he can have a hobby.
Of course. Anyone can have a hobby.
But when you're rich, a hobby I guess that's hard. It's kind of hard to blur that line when you're rich, because it could be like, oh, what's this? A $13 million guitar. Well, I made $13 million in the last 30 seconds. That's fine. Whatever.
Pocket change. Give me that guitar. And then to you, it's not weird, but then you walk in and you're like, that guitar could pay my rent for several months. Not even several months, a couple of years. $13 million.
$13 million is a lot, but yeah, so he walks over to Pizzazz and he is just like, I don't even think he says, oh, you must be Pizzazz. He just goes over and is like, oh, hello, I'm Prescott, and he offers his hand, and Pizzazz kind of like
she spits on it.
She steps back like, ugh.
Absolutely not. Those hands touch Jem things. They'll burn me.
That's okay.
It's like holy water.
Prescott A. Wentworth III here, as I said previously, voiced by Rob Paulson, who voiced a few characters, Kristen, you may know,
maybe.
At least having tertiary knowledge of, such as Raphael of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame, which I think he's the red one.
Oh, good. We're getting into this now, are we?
Leonardo's the blue one.
I don't know. April O'Neil wears a yellow jumpsuit.
April O'Neil's got the yellow jumpsuit. There we go. I'm surprised Pizzazz didn't come in her April O'Neil jumpsuit to fuck with them. He also voiced Yakko Warner of the Animaniacs. Pinky of Pinky and the Brain, which is, I guess, technically the same thing. Not the same thing, but the same series, but whatever. He voiced 2 of the Three Rowdy Rough Boys, which is where that's where the Powerpuff Girls connection comes in.
Awesome.
I brought it back around.
One episode and then another episode. Nailed it! I just did I just golfed really well.
You did.
Shoot him or Gavin.
He's got the cash in hand. He pulls it right out all right, I want Jim's identity. And Pizzazz is just like, what? Jim?
Who?
Jim? You want Jim's identity? It's Jim. Jim is Jim's identity.
Yeah, idiot, you can figure that out.
Oh, Jim!
That
guy! Don't know that yet, but... And Prescott does not take that very well, Kristen.
This is the only time this happens in this episode, and that part of it makes it irritating to me.
What, the fact that Prescott gets all screamy and whiny?
He has a pizzazz tear freak out.
Because he's just like, you told me you knew it.
Literally starts jumping up and down on the ground.
And he throws a vase.
That vase, by the way, could have paid my rent.
Is there a big...
That cartoon vase.
Is there a difference between vase and vase?
I think it's how fancy you're trying to be.
Yeah, okay. If you notice, Kristen, whenever I say who, I often say whom, no matter the context.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Jetta comments, what a brat, when he has this little tantrum here, and Pizzazz is just like, what? Is that not how people react normally?
I did that on the way here.
So, the Misfits lead Prescott into the next room to, I don't know if they necessarily calm him. It's basically...
Shut up! We have things to say.
Again, that's how you calm him down when you're a misfit. Mm-hmm. A misfit takes, they do not ask. So they don't ask him to be calm. They punch him in the stomach until he can't whine anymore.
Until there's no more air left for whining.
And they're like, no, we have a plan to get Jem's identity. And
I would love to know when they came up with this insanely complex plan, and they're like, we're just gonna lay it all out for you right here. Let's do it!
On the drive over, it's just, Pizzazz is just like, no, I got it! And the rest of them are like, how much money is this gonna cost? And like, he's rich!
Who cares?
And nobody wanted to tell Pizzazz no.
Yeah. And you know what? It almost works!
Almost works.
Hyper-competent Pizzazz, again, proving to be the scariest thing in the series.
They say that they have a plan, again, here, and Prescott's like, well, okay, what's the plan? And Jed is just like, it's a secret, but if you pay all the money up front here, we'll get Jem's identity, we promise.
Yep, fingers crossed. And he is like...
This close!
This close! I guess.
It's really... Prescott comes around pretty quickly where it's just like, I don't want to! Okay.
I trust these suspicious people who I should know have it out for Jem.
Well, I mean, again, they kind of do the, like, oh, but then again, if you're not interested kind of thing.
But he really wants to know who Jem is.
So that sets it in motion. And Prescott has one caveat, however, which is, don't hurt Jem. And Roxy's response to that is, us? Hurt anyone?
As we were watching the episode, I did point out, Roxy never said that they wouldn't. She just kind of asked about it, like, oh, what? Us hurt someone? Yes, we will do that. Absolutely. That's the plan.
Roxy also could have been being sarcastic, and nobody bothered to tell Prescott about it, or, like, nobody picked... I mean, we learn later that Pizzazz reneges on wanting to pay
doesn't care.
Wanting to pay the actors because she said she had her fingers crossed,
Yeah.
so...
Also, it wasn't her job to pay them.
True. Yeah, you're right. They locked Prescott in a closet at that point, so...
Yep.
So we fade to Starlight music. Jem is walking outside, and a limo pulls up. Apparently, Kimber sent for a limo driver to take her back to Starlight Mansion.
He says Kimber Benton. You know, that one. That Kimber. The other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kimber Rodriguez. I'm sorry. Are you Jim?
No, I'm M.
Oh.
Like M, but with the J.
And an E between them.
Yes, that is how it's spelled.
He says that it's part of your birthday present, and Jem's response...
For the first of 5,000 times?
Not my birthday, dude.
It's not my birthday.
So, Jem, even as she's saying, this is crazy, she gets in because, I guess, hey, free limo ride, whatever, even if it's to Murder Town.
Yeah, whatever. You don't seem like you're lying, let's do it.
She quickly notices, too, after they start driving, driver, I don't think this is the right direction to Starlight Mansion, and he goes, shortcut.
To be fair, if they hadn't put that little bit of dialogue in, I'm pretty sure I would have said, how did Jem not realize that they weren't going to the actual Starlight Mansion? So, you know what? Good on him.
Jem again says, well, this is all, I mean, it's not my birthday, so this is all really weird, and Kimber should know it's not my birthday, and the driver's like, that's interesting. When is your birthday?
And tell me, a stranger. I guess this is the least weird person that asks her when her birthday is in this.
True.
Or any sort of question.
It could be
honestly.
Genuine curiosity.
But Jem's like, my birthday's June 1st. It's not really important.
Now, Kristen, because Jem even says, it's not important, I read on...
Are you going to drop some knowledge on me?
Yes, I read on rockgem.com that Jem being born June 1st means she's a Gemini, which is, you know, Gemini, two personality together. And I was like, aha, this is going to be a fun little knowledge tidbit to drop. But then the driver goes, June 1st. That means you're a Gemini.
I don't know what kind of people just know off the top of their head what someone's, like, astrological sign is. Like, in general, it's like, oh, if your birthday is near mine, then I can assume you're a Libra. If someone's birthday is closer to yours, I can assume they're a Virgo.
If they read the horoscopes, they might know. They might, I don't know.
That guy, yeah, he's really into horoscopes. That's the little extra piece of information they didn't give us.
And he even drops, like, the dual personality thing, like, okay, we get it, Beth Bornstein, like...
Yeah. We know. Stop it. I wonder if Beth Bornstein is the one who decided that Jem is a Gemini. A Gemini!
Whoa!
Ah!
Jem's response to this is just like, yeah. And...
She should have tuck and rolled out of that car immediately.
They pull up to Starlight Mansion. Kristen, the orphans arrive, and they're all like, happy birthday! The important orphans, of course.
The three important orphans.
The three important orphans. We, no Deirdre, no Blender, none of those ones. Mm-hmm. No Mystery Orphan and Marianne, and Ginger, and Gilligan, and the Skipper.
So those are all the ones that aren't there. Where are the ones that are there, Joe? Those are the important ones.
Of course, yes. Chrissy, Bonnie, and Ashley, of the important orphans, all are just like, hey, it's your birthday, let's go in. And Jem, again, is like, not my birthday. And they're like, no excuses, birthday.
Who cares? Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
If someone insisted it was your birthday when it wasn't, how do you react to that?
This might be where, again, this could be Pizzazz, like, really coming up with a good plan, because it could be like, but we don't know when Jem's birthday is. Pizzazz is just like, yeah, so? If everybody tells her it's her birthday, she'll get so confused to be like, what? To
just put the pressure on. Because I feel like at some point, it would depend on the scale of things. Like, it's your birthday, here's a cupcake. And I would go, okay, sure, I'll take a cupcake, but if it gets to the point where it's like, it's a mansion, and everyone's having a party for you, and all your closest friends are like, birthday! At some point, I think I would also be like, please stop!
Well, that's basically what happens, because as they go in, just the holograms and the orphans are all just like, yay, birthday!
Yeah.
And it takes, Jem's just like, okay, that's nice, but okay, stop!
I don't want to do this anymore!
Jem immediately pulls Kimber aside and is just like, Kimber, what are you doing? If anybody should know when my birthday is, it should be my sister. And here is where, Kristen, we have the first
Can I say it?
The first big thing where it's just like, what?
Kimber says, okay, tell me who your sister is and I'll ask her. And everyone goes, what? Everyone watching, I mean.
Jem finds nothing wrong with this comment. She's just like, what?
Yeah, I have no idea what you mean by that. Jem is like, this is not funny. I need to go and get away from you, nut jobs, please.
She needs to go take a nap. She's so exhausted after doing whatever the fuck she was doing at Starlight Music and had to take a limo ride, and is now everybody's telling her it's her birthday. She's gotta have a dream. Gotta have a nightmare. Batman.
It sound like Batman.
Whatever. Song number 1 of the evening, which we will play for you right now.
I am the night.
It is. I am the night. Mare. We'll play for you right now.
Everything's going in circles. Everyone's so intense. All of it seems so mysterious, and none of it makes any sense. This must be a nightmare. Nightmare. I'm going through a nightmare. What am I gonna do? I'm stuck in a time warp. How did I go astray? Baby, the matter is serious. Won't somebody show me the way? This must be a nightmare. Nightmare. When's it gonna end? Nightmare. Lost without a friend. Nightmare. The world's so unkind. Nightmare. Have I lost my mind?
So, yo, Joe, if Jem thinks that this is the nightmare, she's not ready for the rest of this episode.
You put it in pretty succinctly to me, where I was just, when I watched it this morning, I was like, this is a little early in the episode. And then when we watched it before we recorded here, you were like, Jem is having a nightmare because everyone's saying it's her birthday, and it's not.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a weird thing, probably stressful. Gaslighting. Quite a lot of it.
Not yet, though.
Yes. We're not at peak gaslight currently.
We are at like level 2 gaslighting, maybe.
But it's a nightmare.
Not for I don't think it's enough of a nightmare for a song this dramatic. Again, later in the episode, sure,
No,
perfect.
and the use of this in Alone Again, awesome.
I like it better here.
Chef kiss to Alone Again.
So we got Jem's tossing around in bed. There's a giant green phantom possess. There's a lot of phantoms in this song. Oh, phantasms. You know.
Pizzazms.
Phantasms.
Pizzas.
There are some pastel phantasms in this song, Kristen, in the form of Shayna, and Kimber's kind of neon.
Mostly
maybe.
just Shayna.
Kimber's a neon nightmare.
Yeah, great. Yeah, there's a purple Shayna, mostly just Shayna, who is like talking to Jem through a mirror like, oh, fuck you.
Well, I mean, there's Jem falling through like a Twilight Zone door, and like it goes to an hourglass, and then it's in her eye, and then Jem is trapped in an hourglass, and she's stuck in a time warp. Time warp. How does she go astray? Astray.
Yeah, there's some weird backup vocals in the song. I'm into it.
Well, yeah, no, I'm into it too. It's my favorite part. And she, Purple Phantasm Shayna is there, and she says the astray part for some reason. And I thought, again, I'll watch music videos without the context all the time, and I assume like, oh, Shayna's here because something happened with Shayna. And
No. Just happened to be Shayna.
The first thing Shayna says in this episode is as a backup vocal that probably isn't even Shayna's voice actress saying it.
Yep.
Going astray.
The drama.
So Jem's stuck in an hourglass, pounding on it. She gets buried in sand.
She dead.
There's more falling. She falls directly onto the bed, which is a silly visual. But
She was there to begin with, so like I guess sure if you want to do it like that.
and then we got people floating around at 50% opacity, including we got Pizzazz floating around.
Why is Pizzazz in this nightmare? Do you think she's just there in
Generally.
general? Yeah, that makes sense. I asked that question and I was like, of course Pizzazz would be in the nightmare. Never mind.
Why isn't Clash in this nightmare?
That's too meta. The nightmare in the nightmare becomes the nightmare.
There's some other people there as well. Kimber and Shayna again kind of go by 50% opacity. Aja's there too. The rest of the holograms basically, and Bonnie.
I know your secret, Jem.
Film noir music in the background. She puts on her hat.
She thought I didn't know.
Ba-da-ba-da! I don't know why I did James Bond there.
I could have definitely come up with for the season 2 wrap up, I need to like write a full Bonnie film noir, like detective monologue. I'll do it.
So that was Nightmare. Again, I really like Nightmare a lot, Kristen. You don't like it as much as I do, I think, but I like it a lot.
It's fine. I enjoy it just because it adds like instant drama to whatever situation it's applied to. It's like, oh, this character is really upset. And we transition immediately into one of my 2 favorite uses of just very blunt wording in this episode, where Rio shows up and he's like, oh, hey, Jem, you okay? Or just screaming.
Yeah, Rio's just like, hey, Jem, are you okay? I heard you screaming in your sleep. Heard you screaming in your sleep, just very frankly. And Jem's like, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Fine.
That shit happens.
Don't worry about
Haven't
it.
you been in the mansion, Rio? I have night terrors all the time.
You should know that.
You want to tell me about it, kid? Let's rap. So as Rio sits on the bed, really casually, just pulls up a chair and sits on it backwards with his arms across the top.
On the bed. He just stacks up pieces of furniture, sits backward on a chair, and he's like, now I look approachable. Let's do this.
And Jem doesn't really want to talk about it because it's just like, you have a chair on my bed.
Get that out of there. But yeah, she doesn't really want to talk about it because the weirdness is basically all linked to the Jem identity stuff.
Kristen, one thing I noticed, there was a book behind Rio in the shot of Rio, like over his shoulder, directly there, that says how to play golf.
Is this what Jerica's been up to in her spare time?
Leads me to a question, Kristen.
Is Jem in Jerica's room?
Did they replicate all of the books in Starlight Mansion?
That and is Jem in Jerica's room right now? Do Jem and Jerica have 2 separate rooms? Does Rio live in Starlight Mansion?
Do they know that that room is Jerica's room? If it is Jerica's room.
There are no answers to any of these questions, and it's frustrating me.
It must be a nightmare. Jem basically explains what's happened so far with Kimber and the birthday party and shit, and Rio drops a bomb, I guess, or something that will be fun to talk about when we go between segment 1 and 2 here, where Rio just goes, oh, Jem, poor sad Jem, if the girls only knew your true identity like I do.
What?
That's essentially the reaction Jem has.
Yeah. She is a little bit more upset about it, where she goes, whoa, but when did you find out? I don't understand.
Who told you?
Ah! And then segment ended.
End of segment 1, which affords us the opportunity Kristen, the Misfits expected that Rio knew Jem's identity, but the holograms didn't. One of a few missteps in this plan, I would say.
Yes. Or again, is it Pizzazz just trying to be like, who cares who says what? Let's fuck up her mind!
It could be an unintentional fuck-up of her mind, or it could be an intentional fuck-up of her mind. It could be, literally, they might have had the meeting on the way over, and it's just like, well, okay, so who do you think knows who Jem is?
Maybe Rio? I don't know.
Maybe the Rio, maybe the holograms.
I think the Misfits are some of those people who are still just like, ooh, I like Rio at the very beginning of season 1. Why is he always with Jem? So maybe they just don't understand that Rio is not dating Jem.
That's the other thing, is I think they're under that impression, too, because Jerrica doesn't show up for quite a while. A fake Jerrica.
This stuff doesn't get sorted out until Riot shows up, and he's like, Jem, why do you care about Rio? He's dating Jerrica! And everyone goes, thank you, Riot, that's true!
Someone finally got punched in the head, and she's like, oh, wait a minute!
Oops! This very lusciously long-haired Fabio man is telling us the truth.
So segment 2 starts here. Jem is suddenly under the covers again, and then she takes them off, and she's like, well, wait a minute, how did you find out my identity? And the actors either have very bad timing in this episode, or I don't know if it's like Pizzazz is just
Keep the pressure on!
Pizzazz is just like over the loudspeaker, just like, send in the orphans, send them in.
Go, go, go!
So Chrissy and Ashley come in, and they basically drag Jem out of the room because there's like, video's here, we gotta show you a video that Video brought. You know,
The production value on this is amazing.
one thing that I noticed that I think we have to be a little more wary of, whenever Video is around, we gotta try and see how often they avoid using the word video to reference a video and not Video the character.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Because in all the things here, they say tape, I'm pretty sure.
You know, the thing you put in the VCR!
The tape CR.
The tape CR. I just realized I don't know what VCR stands for.
That was the joke I was gonna make, but I was like, video something recorder, maybe
Compression?
video compression. That doesn't sound right. That
Oh,
doesn't
no.
sound right. I'm not gonna go Google that.
No.
Not now. They bring her into the TV room. Video puts a tape into the tape CR.
Awesome. We're nailing it. We're good at this too. See, cartoon, you're not the only one who could do it.
And it says Jem's birthday tape on it. And so they all sit down, and Video presses the play button on the remote, which also dims the lights in the room somehow.
God, it's so advanced.
And Jem is, of course, like, what's going on here? And Video's like, Jem and the hologram. Jem hologram. This is your life.
It's the second time we've made that joke on this podcast, but that is actually what Video says.
I forgot Video made this joke, too, so...
Jem just goes, great.
She has a very flat grate, which the camera doesn't zoom out or anything. It's the same shot as Jem, this is your life, and Jem just turns towards where the TV would be, and she just goes, great.
And you know what? She was not ready for what was on that tape.
The Jem story. Kristen, how did they make this? How did the Misfits make this tape?
Again, just so much money. Hire a baby actor.
Give her pink hair.
Hire a 3-year-old actor. Hire an 8-year-old actor. They all have to look the same. Hire a mom that looks like Jem.
So the tape's content, excuse me.
Ah, no!
The tape's content is like, here's Jem at age 1. Oh, look at her, she's so cute. Here's Jem at age 3. Look at her, oh, she's performing. And there's the proud mother. And Jem's response to that is basically, oh, fuck, wait a minute. Who is that woman?
Again, worth pointing out, Jackie Benton, Jerrica's mom, is dead. So this sudden assertion that's like, oh, here's Jem's mom, is like the most fucked up thing.
That woman looks like me. Of course she does. She's your mother, says Shayna.
Ah.
What the fuck?
Jem at age 8 is apparently already pretending to be someone else because she puts on lipstick.
Who is she really, folks? And this is where Jem has had enough. She stops the tape and she's just like, Video, what the fuck?
And Video says, just admit you didn't like it. I just like to believe this actress was really sensitive.
I'd like to believe it was actually Video. Nobody told Video, like, did you move Starlight Mansion? Like, you have that video that we said that, we have that tape you said to make for you.
I do have the tape.
I'm Video. No, I'm here. I have the video because Video is me. Thank you.
Yeah, the video is right here. And then she cross-chops.
Jem is confused, understandably so. And we pull away from Jem on a TV screen, which is, here's the revelation. I mean, again, we've kind of talked about it already, but clearly, if this is your first time watching the episode, you're not going to know what's going on. You're going to be like, what the fuck is
Everyone's
everybody?
gone crazy.
Everyone's gone crazy. What the fuck? Everything's going in circles. Everything's so intense.
Okay,
Everything
stop
seems so
it.
mysterious.
Stop it.
None of it makes any sense. This
Stop.
must be a nightmare.
Stop.
So they pull out, and it's the Misfits at, like, a big tape console
TV.
broadcast thing,
Yeah.
probably. And the Misfits and Prescott are there, and they're kind of watching it unfold, and they're all, like, on the edge of their seats, like, oh, this should be it. This should be good. Because Kimber asked at this point, so who are you really if that's not you in the videotape? And this is where Jem's just like,
And the Misfits are like, yeah!
like, we got it. Here it is. And then it zooms back in. And I like the way that this works is it starts, Jem's talking normally. It zooms out to reveal she's on a TV screen. And she sounds like she's talking through a TV screen. And then it goes back in. And it sounds like she's talking on a TV screen for a second. And then it's just like, beat. And then, oh, no, she's talking normally again. We're back. We're away from the Misfits now. And she goes, wait a minute. You know who I am already.
Jem is furious because she is like thinking to herself, this is literally my sister, what the fuck is her problem? And then leaves.
And Kimber drops character when Jem is barely out of the room being like, oh damn, we almost had her.
It's me, Zipper!
She takes off her wig, and it's Zipper! Oh no!
I feel like as soon as you started doing a voice like that and looked at me, you knew I was going to say, me, Zipper!
Kristen, did you know one thing that I read? That throughout all of Futurama, there isn't a point where Bender says the word me without following it with the word Bender.
I love that.
Pizzazz is pissed because the actors blew it, and Prescott is kind of showing some concern. Like, Jem seems like she's getting upset. Can we
What? Really, Prescott? No, that's just how she is.
Can we not do that? Can we call this off?
Nope.
And Pizzazz is basically using the sunken cost fallacy at this point of just being like, no, we put too much of your money into this.
You want to stop now? Fuck you, we're never stopping.
We just gotta increase the pressure. We just gotta break her mind.
We just gotta knee her in the head until she says who she is.
So Pizzazz rounds up the actors here for a meeting on how to expose Jem, and she also chides them on the fact that, you know, it's like, hey, you're getting close, but that's not close enough, buddy boy.
One of the actresses also said that they've been rehearsing for weeks, which is crazy.
Because one thing I pointed out to you, Kristen, the Misfits never change outfits in this episode.
They've been slaving away over this whole production and just didn't have time to go back and change.
We have to wonder, did they build a complete replica of Starlight Mansion? Where did they do this? Would Jerrica not have noticed, wait a minute, there's a lot, like when we see the fake Starlight Mansion, there's like a house behind it, there's like a road behind it, and if we remember from the Gym, there's like a helipad back there.
Yeah.
So you'd think Jem would be like, wait a minute.
I believe the limo driver probably was just like, new neighbors.
There's like, hey, look over there. Wait, why would he want to even then? He
wouldn't... I hit a rabbit.
Close your eyes really quick. Okay, good, we're good.
Okay. I didn't want you to see that, Jem, I'm so sorry.
Aj's actress takes off her wig at this point, too, and she can't stop saying the word like in every other word. It's just like, you know, Jem's not, like, stupid. She knows that something's, like, up, bro.
This is me. Not doing my Aja voice, which is clearly different.
Roxy doesn't care. Complain all you like, jerks. We just want her identity. And Pizzazz...
She climbs up onto the computer console, swings for a rope in the ceiling, and says, who is she?
And, yeah, Pizzazz sets up the next song quite nicely, where she points at the screen and says, who is she, anyway? She doesn't say the anyway part, but since we promised that we would be playing the song, and considering I didn't want to put Nightmare in Alone Again, which is the next time that it shows up, we're playing 2 songs this episode. This one being Who Is She, Anyway? We're going to play right now.
She acts like a queen, if you know what I mean, but she's in for a big surprise. Who is she? She thinks she's the best, but I'm not impressed, and I'm gonna cut her down to size. Who is she? Who is she? Anyway, she ain't so fine. Who is she? Who is she? Anyway, what's she got that's better than mine? Faith and hope and brotherly love is all she talks about. Who is she? I can't cope with all her hard tugging. It makes me want to scream and shout. Who is she? Who is she? Anyway, she ain't so fine. Who is she? Who is she? Anyway, what's she got that's better than mine? Is she? Anyway, what's she got that's better than mine? Is she? Anyway, who is she?
I like this song.
It's a good song. No, I know we've...
It deserved better than Broadway Magic.
You know what?
I'm going to say it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Where I think one of the things that we're going to be comparing a lot of is this song used in a better context as per the episode, where
Thank God we'll still have something to talk about.
Broadway Magic's a weird episode for the song.
They still have the whole identity thing in that one, but
Forced. It's much more forced in
Yeah.
Broadway Magic.
like it's the entire plot point of everyone else in a way that we already understand is like, who is Jem? Whereas this is a big elaborate plot and Pizzazz is like, tell me who the fuck Jem is!
How much money do you think
A lot.
Eric would be willing to put towards this plan?
I answered too quickly. 0. I don't think Eric, unless he saw some proof first, would put any money into this. The second it looked like it was working, though, like if he were watching this from a remote location, he was like, this bullshit's never gonna work. God, Pizzazz is so stupid. And then, like, saw Jem start to freak out, he would go, like, dollar.
I think, yeah, that might be... I'd love to see, actually, if this plan did work, just Pizzazz going up to Eric and being like, yeah, we did it. What? We got Jem's identity.
You're fired also.
And Eric goes back to how he looked in Search of the Stolen Album.
He goes back to being homeless.
The song is presented also differently, to where instead of the Misfits kind of singing it at each other and Eric and Jim participants, actual Jim, not Jim and the holograms Jim.
God damn it. That word's never gonna work ever again.
No. Good thing they don't go to the gym very often.
I hope not.
They're basically singing it at the actors now, or the actresses, I should say. Pizzazz steps up on a table, she kicks over a thing that says Jem, which I wouldn't want to do in heels, because I think you might slip pretty easily.
I think Pizzazz is an expert at doing weird kicks while wearing high heels.
Well, we've seen that in Stitches when she was kicking shit off the top of a ladder.
Yep.
While on top of a moving ladder, I should say, excuse me.
Uh-huh. So, she has a low center of gravity, and it's fine.
Pizzazz has an imagined spot, too, at the part where, with faith and hope and brotherly love and something heart-tugging. It makes me want to scream and shout, where it's just basically the image in Pizzazz's mind is...
Oh, Jem is such a friend, and they hug each other and stuff.
And then Pizzazz, warps in into her own mind, and
She
just...
beams in, like, wow, 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 wow.
into her own mind, and she's just like, this is bullshit.
I hate you. Even in my dreams when you're not doing anything, I hate you.
Pizzazz grabs the actresses of Kimber and Shayna by their collar, yelling the song at them, and Shayna's wig slips. Shayna's actress's wig slips at one point, and I like how, when you're watching it without context, you might be like, what was that? What?
Why did his hair fall off?
So that was basically Who Is She Anyway? It's good. I mean, not much else you could say about it other than it's good. I'm glad we see it again.
Yep, I would watch the music video if I were you.
The actors are basically like, well, we're doing our best. And actress Shayna is clearly, Shayna's voice actress is kind of going a little, she's trying to do a zipper voice.
It's me, Shayna. I just smoked a couple packs first.
And if Jem doesn't spill the beans soon, the actors aren't going to get paid, says Pizzazz. And Rhea, at this point, actress Rhea, takes off her face.
I hate when they do this. The face comes off.
Always the face.
Always the face.
Because they also did that in the other time in Who Is She Anyway, when they took off Jem's face like it was a mask.
I hated that.
And for some reason, you'd think that actress Rhea looks completely different from normal Rhea, but it's not really...
I think their eyes are different colors, and that's fucking it.
No, because they're blue, and Rhea's eyes are blue.
Ah, shit. Then I have no idea what the difference is supposed to be. They couldn't give actress playing Rhea, a septum piercing or something?
And this is also where Rhea's actress is being like, well, you said you'd pay us. And here's where Pizzazz reneges on her deal, basically. And it's just like, aha, had my fingers crossed. Legally binding. Legal bind. There it is. You didn't read it in the contract because there was a verbal contract, which includes hand signals.
It's the law. Read it. Also, it's technically Prescott's money, so who cares?
Pizzazz then tells Rhea, put your face back on and get out there.
I hear that every day of my life.
The real holograms are practicing I've Got My Eye on You as Kimber arrives, and you explain this as it's the playback, but Kimber is not playing, and the keyboard part is in the song.
Yeah, and all the music immediately stops afterwards, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so as Kimber's walking up, probably thinking to herself, who's playing the keyboard? And Asha's like, where's Jim?
Jim?
I'm sorry, Jem.
A limo pulled up with someone named Jim in it.
That's not our person.
He must have meant Kimber Rodriguez.
Oh, no wonder this keeps getting so confusing. Yeah, so Kimber was supposed to go get Jem at Starlight Music, but she was not there and assumed that Jem just got back another way, but they were like, nope, she's not here either.
Not here yet.
No one cares.
Yeah, Shanna's basically like, Jem should know better. We have to practice for a concert tomorrow.
At least, yeah, Aja is like, let's ask Synergy where she is. Make sure she didn't get kidnapped and gaslit.
So, Kristen, if it's as simple as going to ask Synergy...
Why hasn't Synergy helped Jerica not go crazy? Great question!
Not explained. Slightly
explained badly.
Explained badly, yes, thank you. So we cut back to fake Starlight Mansion, and here's where we see, I believe, the kind of like the bird's eye view of it, where there's like a street behind it, and things like that. The last scene ended with basically the holograms being like, oh, let's just go ask Synergy. So we cut to basically the same place. Essentially the same, it's exactly the same place, I would say. And Jem's on stage getting ready to sing a song, and the holograms, Kristen, is this the best scene in the episode?
Yes.
The other holograms are kind of standing around there, and it's just like, we need to practice, and they're like, what?
Yeah, the actors are like, practice what?
You're a musician.
Oh,
shit!
Oh, this is a band! I'm playing someone in a band!
I believe the actress Aja is just like, oh, I'm tired?
And Jem said, you guys have been acting funny all day, but, like, seriously, we need to practice, so let's do it.
So, Kristen, the actors that the Misfits hired aren't musically trained, or at least they wouldn't know this secret new song to practice.
So, there's no way that this ends well for the actors.
I'm surprised they let Jem get as far as, were they just told, like, just follow Jem around and do what she wants to do. Don't try to, like, press anything
don't
right
act
now.
weird.
Yeah. So they decide, they all just kind of go to their, I actually would have liked it if it was more like Shayna goes over to the drums and then Rhea's actress had to be like, oh.
Oh no. But
and then, had to lean in, like, you don't play drums anymore. It's like, oh, shit.
They get into somewhat correct positions and are just kind of standing ready to go. Jem counts herself in, which I'm pretty sure, wouldn't whoever starts playing first count them in? Or at least if multiple people go in at the same time, wouldn't the drummer count you in?
If this were a song that started with Jem singing, I would be like, okay, maybe Jem would count herself in there.
Sure.
But no, it's I Believe in Happy Endings, another song we've heard previously, and Jem doesn't sing it all correctly either.
No, she sings lyrics that aren't in that song.
She goes, tell me I'm crazy, and instead of baby I know, it's just tell me I'm lazy. And I'd like to think that Samantha Newark, or whomever is Jem's voice actress, I believe, Jem or Jerica's voice actress, was just like, okay, so I know that there's a song here, tell me I'm crazy, tell me I'm lazy.
Yeah, that sounds right. I also deep cut joke that it was the ending theme to the anime K-On! So enjoy that joke if it's there. It was really popular a couple years ago. I would like more than 5. I'm old for the internet. And you're even older.
True. The fake holograms don't even bother trying to play. Jem stops after the tell me I'm lazy part and turns around and is like, did you guys forget how to play your instruments? What's going on here?
And actress Aja has one of my favorite lines where she just kind of, there's like several seconds of silence. Like, the comedic timing on this is amazing. And she just goes, I guess we don't know that one.
Which might be, if you're an actress in this situation, that might be the worst thing you could say.
Say, I have guitar amnesia.
Yeah, just go, what chord does that start in again? Or
I'm
something
sorry.
like that. It's been a while since we played this one, Jem, so...
I have musician's block. I've been practicing a lot on my own doing other songs.
Jem points out at this point as well that Aja's holding her guitar backwards, which I'm going to need to take a look at this one because I don't know if she's actually holding it backwards.
Yeah, we couldn't remember whether or not she does it the backwards way regularly.
I think she's right-handed guitar. She might be. That's the other. There's, for some reason in my mind, I feel like there's 1 or 2 examples of her being left-handed guitar. You know what? There was a continuity error in one of the earlier episodes where Aja was playing right-handed and then in the next shot playing left-handed. So,
that might be what we're thinking of, so who knows?
There we go. Wonderful. Jem is just like, you know what? Let's just go one more time. 2, 3. Tell me I'm crazy. Whoops.
So it's very similar to... What episode does that also happen in?
It's got to be The Princess and the Singer. Because...
Yes, that is it. Oh, Kimber, play the song.
And Pizzazz realizes at this point, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah, the Misfits are all just like watching like, oh, shit. And basically go, they need to figure out something really quick or we're going to get busted immediately.
And actress Kimber, much to her credit, well, what happens is Jem goes, Kimber, play me a chord. And Kimber's like, me? I'm Kimber. Chord. oh, and she falls over.
Yeah, she basically acts as though she bonked her head on the airspace above her keyboard, and they all crowd around her, and fake Kimber's like, I got it. Amnesia! Actress Kimber's a genius!
Kimber, are you alright? Oh, whom are you?
Whom are you? Who?
Oh my god, Kimber's an owl!
I was actually going for the song Who Are You by The Who.
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay, that's a reference you typically wouldn't expect from me, so it's fine. Jem just keeps trying to go, like, it's me, Jem! And then actress Kimber goes, no! Who are you?
Like, work with me here. Who are you?
It's like she's trying to play charades, but, like, can't use a certain word. She's like, but who are you?
And she's like, oh, well, I'm wait a minute. The Misfits, again, on the edge of their seats here, and Jetta makes some kind of comment that's along the lines of, oh, her career's gonna be over after this. Would it take some of the mystery away from Jem? Yes. Again, we said it's said in the Jem Bible that it's things like conflict of interest or something stupid like that, which...
That everyone in the series seems to believe very strongly that it would ruin Jem's career if people knew who she was, so that's what they believe.
And Prescott's reaction to this is something along the lines of, wait,
Did you say ruin her career?
And Jetta turns around and is like, oh, ruin you! Oh,
Yank.
excuse me. Oh, ruin you!
Yank! There we go.
And Jem is just about to reveal her identity when who walks in?
Hey guys, you're practicing! It's me, Jerica!
To which Jem looks appropriately shocked.
Yeah.
Because...
This is about when her brain starts to actually explode.
Because in walks Jerica, and end of segment 2, where there's even somebody ADR'd in, I don't think it was Jem's voice actress, of just somebody going, Jerica? And it sounds close enough. But, but end of segment 2, Jem is shocked. Segment 3 starts. Pizzazz is expounding that the actress who's playing Jerica was 2 hours late, which shouldn't that have...
It's bad etiquette.
If... Again, the Misfits don't necessarily know how involved Jerica is with the holograms, so...
I guess maybe they assume as much as Eric is involved with them.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right. Because...
It's me! What you up to?
If it were me, Jem, and I didn't find it odd that Jerica wasn't around, I think that would be a big clue in, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But again...
If at any point you go, where's Jerica?
The Misfits... don't have context clues for this.
No, absolutely none. To be fair, the answer to the question that they're attempting to find is Cuckoo Bananas Crazy. So, maybe they don't expect the answer to be, well, of course Jerica wouldn't be there because Jerica is Jem.
Prescott's worried about all this again, and Jetta threatens it. When people come back from commercial break, we kind of got to retread old ground in a few ways.
Yank!
So... Oh, rude you yank! Just said really...
One more time!
Played it 2 times speed.
Did you hear me?
So the holograms all go talk to Synergy, and they ask where Jerica is, and Synergy's response is, she's in an exact replica of Starlight Mansion.
Synergy's voice actress says it a little bit like she can't fucking believe it either.
Kimber's reaction is like, what?
That sounds wrong. Could you check again?
No, she's currently in danger of revealing her identity because there's people...
She is very confused.
People are gaslighting the shit out of her.
Yeah. Synergy really downplays how really, really bad for Jerica this entire situation is.
Synergy also hacks one of the cameras in there so they can see what's going on. And it shows, like, wait a minute, those are all us. And there's Jerica with Jem? And Synergy says, no, it's an actress playing Jerica. And here's, where she's in danger of revealing her identity to these people. Then why don't you contact her, Synergy? And Synergy's response to this is, nope, the cameras can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm sorry, Synergy, do you need to get physical and pop out and do some squats while you tell her? No? You could just talk into her ear like you always do? Fuck you, Synergy. Synergy was having fun during this episode.
Is Synergy like the evil side of Jackie Benton, maybe?
Just wants to do petty things to her daughters. She says that Kimber, I guess if she wants to be tough, that's almost as good as being strong. I can't help you, Jerica. I just can't.
Don't wanna.
I'm not in the mood. What do you kids ever do for me? I forgot to buy a hamper when I went Black Friday shopping. I'm sorry, that last part wasn't related to the podcast.
It's a revelation here on the Can We Talk About podcast. So Jem's in the middle of yelling at fake Jerrica at this point, wondering who the hell she's supposed to be. And Jerrica answers, I'm your manager, Jerrica Benton? And Jem's response to that is, then who am I? Which, Kristen, again, if the Misfits were paying attention, I think at that point, at least one of the actresses should have been like, oh, that's it! That's it! She's Jerrica!
Everyone is just sitting around waiting for a name. They're like, no, but who? Who?
Whom?
Whom?
So all the holograms, too, are like, yeah, that's what we're asking. We want to know, whom are you? Who? And... And Jem is like, wait a minute, I'm not telling you guys anything because you're all deceivers and liars, and I hate deception, and I despise liars. Then she kicks over fake Kimber.
Yeah, because fake Kimber's a plant.
They're all plants, Kristen.
Oh!
Jem runs out of there because she says something along the lines of, if none of you guys are going to tell me what's going on, I'll find someone who will. And she runs to Synergy. She attempts to run to Synergy.
But first we cut back to the Misfits again, and Prescott is having a right meltdown.
He's not having any of this anymore. He's like, hey, you're hurting Jem. This wasn't part of the plan, and...
I need to tell her what's wrong. Don't announce your intentions to the Misfits. Sneak out of the room and no one's listening, my dude.
And Jez is like, why are you being like that, Prescott? Would you like to take a nice seat with some tea in the closet?
How would you like a nice casket of Amontillado?
And then she lays all
Montressa!
She just lays all the bricks in the thing, and it's the casket of Amontillado.
Joe and I just both mimed laying bricks, as if we've ever done it.
Stormer's like, is he going to be okay behind the brick wall with the Amontillado? And
oh, Stormer never read it. She doesn't know how that ends. Yeah, he's going to be fine. We'll let him out.
Aja and company all head out in the Rockin' Roadster, and Aja says something along the lines of basically like, oh, let's see what the Rockin' Roadster can really do.
I'm gonna hit the gas, and the car will go faster.
Carmageddon.
Boom.
So we wiped Jem, saying Synergy is her last chance here, and she, instead of touching her earring, she does a lot of... She touches her earring at least twice, right? Before everything...
I only remember the one time... But that really should have been the first thing she tried. Synergy, what the fuck's going on? Help, please.
But she doesn't think to, and Synergy doesn't want to ask her, and so Jem just walks directly... Do you think Synergy
lets this happen?
Well, first, if Jem was ever in any danger of actually turning off the Jem hologram, would Synergy allow it? Would she go, shows over Synergy, and then nothing happen? And then Synergy could not even say anything in her ear, but just, the fact that it's not turning off...
Like, did she have to listen to her?
Doesn't, fuck it.
We're giving the series more credit of being interesting than it actually is!
And then Jem walks into a wall.
Yeah, that's great. She walks into a wall so hard she passes out.
Kristen, how fast do you need to walk into a wall to knock yourself out?
I don't know, I've never tried it.
Well, first time for everything. Kristen is on the floor. She has been knocked out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm lying. She hit the door with her hand.
Who am I?
Whom are you? Who?
These are the kind of gags that we can pull in the same room together. You're welcome, everyone.
Jem wakes up in a bed at a later time. Whomever thought of this part of the plan here, Kristen?
I think Pizzazz is a certified psychopath.
Certified genius.
Genius psychopath.
Blurring that line.
Yep.
Giantess.
Uh-huh.
Genius test.
Does not only walk that line, she dances merrily across back and forth. It's only her and the music.
She is free. She is poetry in motion.
That sounds like pizzazz.
Well, the plan basically turns into, at this point, Jerrica has woken up in bed, and she's like, what happened? And Kimber's like, oh, people were gaslighting the motherfuck out of you. They were all actresses, and they wanted your identity, but it's okay, we're not the actresses.
Aja basically says they were actors, and they were attempting to get you to reveal your identity by stressing you out. Kimber says that they all ran off when they got there. It's fine. Coast is clear.
Reyes says the coast is clear, and Jem, being very obvious, sits up and goes, well, I guess it's time for me to stop being Jem and be my real identity. And she puts her finger on her earring, and it starts glowing, which, again, could just be an animation thing, but
Wow, wow, wow.
we pull out, and the Misfits are still watching on the TV.
Oops! Those are still the actresses.
The Misfits are still, again, third time's the charm, on the edge of their seats like, this is it! This was an amazing plan by me, Pizzazz!
We took the gaslighting up to 11! You cannot get any worse than this.
But oh no, here come the holograms to ruin everything.
So the real holograms run through the door and go, don't!
Stop!
Don't do it!
And they explain this hospital room is a fake, and all of these people are still the actresses. And then actress Kimber, again, trying to salvage everything, is just like, well, how do we know you're not the fakes? And Jem is just like, which one do I shoot?
And real Kimber takes off fake Kimber's wig, and they're like, well, that kind of proves it, does it not?
I would have liked to have, I mean, I guess taking off the wig again, that's how you would do it, but I would have liked if fake Kimber was the only one who ran out, and the other ones tried to stay there and do a quick like shell game kind of thing, and be like, aha! But who's the real Shayna? But no, they all just kind of run.
Roxy is like, alright, good plan, let's go.
Pizzazz thinks this is good fortune, though. She's like, well, wait a minute, the cameras are still on, and they don't know that we're watching, I don't think. So, aha, maybe we will get what we need. Aja, again, explains, like, everyone was gaslighting you. We promise we're not gaslighting you.
You'll never know for sure for the rest of your life until you die, but I promise.
I think one of the things that I said when we were watching the episode, I would have actually really liked it if, in the interim of Jem being knocked out, they had a second group of people pretending to be the holograms.
Now you guys go in.
They double up on it.
I also missed my other favorite piece of dialogue. Right when Jem first wakes up and actress Kimber goes like, you smashed your head on the wall! It was really good verbiage there.
She does, yeah, she's wonderful. But yes, at this point, Roxy thinks that they should leave. And Aja is just like, well, people have been watching you. And there's the camera. And she takes out, like, hair... It's not even, like, spray paint or hairspray. It's something that she sprays at the camera.
It's weird black smoke.
That fogs the lens. And at this point, Roxy's just like, I'm out. And Jen is just like, me too! And Pizzazz starts throwing a Prescott-esque tantrum. And she kicks a chair.
Kicks a rolly chair.
Kicks a rolly chair and screams, and then it hurts her foot, and she kind of jumps on it. And Stormer's just kind of standing there, just like, okay.
Okay, I don't want to get too close to you because you might scratch me.
The holograms are about to leave at this point, and they hear Prescott. And wouldn't it have been great, Kristen, the fact that Jem didn't change back yet, it wouldn't have been great if she changed back, and Prescott was like, why is Jerica Benton here? Where'd Jem go?
Don't worry about it. She's in the actual hospital now, you fucking idiot. You asshole. You asshole idiot.
They stand there for a few seconds, and then Aja and Shayna look at each other, and then they just shove them back in the closet.
You're gonna die in there.
They lay the bricks all over again.
Yep.
So they free Prescott, and he explains basically the entire thing and the Misfits connection and everything like that. We are not treated to that. It's more just, a normal...
I'll tell you what happened. So it started with this.
Fade.
And then that's everything.
Thank God, because...
Yeah, I did not need to hear them tell me what happened in the episode again.
Prescott is truly sorry for what happened, and Jem is just like, I don't want to go through that again. Fuck you. No hard feelings.
I got that out of my system. We're cool.
Prescott's like, no, wait, no. I'll sponsor your next concert. I'll give the money to charity. Anything that I can do. And Jem's just like, I want to fucking leave. Fuck you. I'm out of here.
Go home. Let me go home. But he says, no, like, seriously, they'll let me do it. And she goes, okay, fine. I'm going home.
And then as they're leaving, Jem's like, we got a song to practice. You guys do know how to play music, right?
And all the holograms are like, what? And Jem's like, never mind.
What?
Cut to the concert.
We cut to the concert, and Kristen, this is kind of a flat ending, I would say.
We need one more song. Wrap it up.
Song number 3 of the evening, I Believe in Happy Endings, which, Kristen, this song is all generic concert imagery.
Yep.
That is all it is.
We have nothing to... Prescott's in the crowd.
Prescott.
That's it.
That's the only... And we could talk about Rhea's glitter and gold fashion, because they're all wearing their glitter and gold outfits. Rhea has on a shitty clown outfit.
Yep.
An actual shitty clown outfit.
Yeah, she doesn't even look like a sexy clown.
It's not even the Pizzazz clown outfit. It's a terrible neck ruffle, and it's like... I mean, I thought at first the way that the light made it look like it was like fucking forest green, which looks terrible with salmon pink.
Yeah.
But it's actually more like a lighter blue, so it's not that bad, I guess, but it's still, she's got a giant yellow neck ruffle.
Why couldn't all the glitter and gold outfits have just been gold?
I mean, they're mostly... I think it should be gold with their accent on it, so, like, Aja's got a blue one, Kimber's got a kind of reddy pink.
Why couldn't they have all just been gold and white?
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually... They must have...
You can't see. Joe is looking at Glitter and Gold Rio on his shelf.
I'm looking at Glitter and Gold Rio, and I think that really the only ones that were released with Glitter and Gold stylings were just Jem and Rio.
I think so, too.
Which is weird. I mean, they might have released the other ones as costume packs. You know.
Who knows?
Yeah, whatever. Ah, well. Toys.
Anyway, the episode's over.
The episode's over, which I know, Kristen, there are only 2 complaints I have with this episode.
The bad ending.
The bad ending, yes, the very flat ending of, I mean, I like I Believe in Happy Ending. That's not my favorite song.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, something we could talk about, giving the context of this in Culture Clash was basically the same, though, right? It's just concert.
Yep.
You're playing a song at a concert, and instead of cutting to Prescott in the crowd, they cut to the guy from Culture Clash, whose name, Otacon, whose name I forget.
The weird guy.
So that's, again, we can't even say anything about that. It's just, and the fact that I believe I had said to you, Nightmare is way too early in the episode to the point where, again, she's mad about people saying it's her birthday.
You thought that was a nightmare? Girl. You haven't
Just
seen
the beginning.
yet. Yeah.
Only the beginning.
It's only the beginning.
So that was the fan. Kristen, tell me your thoughts on the fan.
I love this episode. It really might honestly be my favorite episode. This and Alone Again are the episodes I showed my friends when I was watching Jem for the first time, and the band's breakup because it was so incredibly gay. And I was like, you guys need to watch this shit because it's crazy. And everyone enjoyed it.
So isn't that great that the band's breakup and the fan are right next to each other, and Alone Again is
coming right up.
Hop and a skip away right after Aztec Enchantment.
Yep. We're slowly getting there too.
Oh boy.
I love season 2 so much.
I got some problems with season 2. We'll get there as it goes on because it starts to fall into normal cartoon trappings after a while.
That's true. I love it so far.
Love it so far. That's a good way to put it. But so for now, this will be the point in the evening where we list off all of the fun contact things where you can reach us. You can find us on the Twitter machine at CWTAPod. You can follow me at Octopus. That is AWKTAPUS.
You can follow me at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark.
You can find us on the iTunes, on the SoundCloud, on the Stitcher Radio. Leave a rating, give a review, do whatever you feel like. You can also drop us a line, cwtapod@gmail.com, where you can tell us about major gaslighting events in your life and how fast you need to walk into a wall to knock yourself out.
I feel like I have to know someone who knows the answer to that.
Next week, Kristen, it is Father's Day.
Oh, good.
An episode that stuck with you that I must have just, I don't think I missed it necessarily, but it didn't stick with me as much as it did with you because of things between one Kimber and one Harvey Gabor.
Yeah, this episode's fucking weird, and we also get a lot of really good video and Clash bullshit.
We do. When I watched the episode recently, one thing stuck in my mind that I'm going to definitely mention involving Clash's hair color. So
great, great and good.
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 As the Teen Girl Squad would say.
That is what I am referencing.
So there we go. Wait until the very end to make the Homestar Runner reference. With that,
it's been a while.
With that, that'll be the end of this week's episode of the Can't We Talk About podcast. Next week is Father's Day. Join us then. And for the Can't We Talk About podcast, my name is Joe.
I am Kristen, since that's what we're doing apparently.
From within the same room. And join us next week when we will both be in the same room again to talk about some more Jem.
Checks in the mail.